What's going on, world? This is Grandmaster Facts, and this is another Partynerdz exclusive. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm actually going to be taking episode by episode breakdowns of the Watchmen series, because I do feel like the show as a whole is very, very important. But if you could hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, we'll make sure we'll get you any type of exclusive content by myself, Grandmaster Facts, and the Partynerdz. Some of the biggest things to actually interpret from this first episode, and a lot of the backlash that it's actually been getting, because a lot of people have been saying, because of the politics of the show, the fact that white supremacy is being brought into it, the fact that there's a police state involved, a very undermining, I guess if you want to say, deep state behind the entire city government behind Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it opened with the show and had the historical context of the Black Wall Street Tulsa massacre that happened in 1921, which a lot of people didn't even know existed. So, I mean, yes, it got brought on screen and people were like, wow, that really happened? Yes, it was actually a real thing. And if I could get into it all day long about that subject in particular, because the Black Wall Street massacre was basically an atypical storyline of a city of economical and financial wealth amongst African Americans, freed slaves who had built up their own base in one portion of town where they owned a lot of banks, they owned a lot of land, they created opportunities for themselves, and they thrived. Something went haywire, and all of a sudden the government intervened and wiped the entire fucking city out, and literally kind of just justified the entire basis of how this series was going to start. But what we had to look at here is that Sister Knight talked about something in the classroom, that she used to be a former cop, and basically she was one of the police person who was hunted down during the White Night. Now, we don't know what the White Night is. What we do know is that the events that happened in between the Ozymandias, Rorschach being destroyed from telling the secret that basically Ozymandias killed 3 million people in the midst of the brink of World War III that was happening amongst the Soviet Union and the United States, Dr. Manhattan retreating and going to Mars didn't create a better environment for planet Earth, or better yet, the politics in general. Because politics have always played a big part in the Watchmen series, and people don't necessarily get it that there's so much politics involved. Now, the fact that there's this extreme right-wing politics that are being like pretty much held the magnifying glass to is going to be foreshadowed through this entire series, and people have to understand that. You see basically the symbolism amongst the police state. They can't really reveal themselves. They're totally concealed. Pretty much if they walk the street as regular people without uniform, they can't reveal to anyone that they are police. They kind of like have to tell people, hey, yeah, I'm a student and I'm going to get my master's or something like that. But nobody knows who is a cop and who's not. So that's why you always see them concealed. And yet the police have tactics in order to find out who's who. And the 7th Cavalry that's being brought up is kind of like this Rorschach-plagued, I guess, a white supremacist group that's pretty much been in hiding this entire time, but has caused havoc in the past. But there's this big clue that seems to be happening, because Chief Crawford, played by Don Johnson, who of course is leading this police force, at the end of this pilot episode is hung by, let's just say, allegedly, by Lou Gossett Jr.'s character. And if you look up Lou Gossett Jr.'s character on Google, he has no name. You don't know who he exactly is. There's no title under who this person could be. So Chief Crawford, of course, is the leader of this police force, and Lou Gossett Jr., of course, has this undermining appeal to Sister Knight, Regina King's character. And then out of nowhere, after the impending almost fatal injury of one of his police officers in a traffic stop by one of the 7th Cavalry, almost fatally injuring the guy, Chief Crawford goes to check on the guy, and then Lou Gossett Jr. is found to have called Sister Knight. She comes out onto the scene, and Judge Crawford is hanging from a tree, which left everybody in awe, because, you know, we thought Don Johnson was going to be throughout this whole goddamn series, but nope. And It's funny, in the beginning of the Watchmen movie, if anybody's seen the movie, it all started, the whole point of them coming back together after being in hiding as mass vigilantes for so long was the fact of the comedian dying and bringing everybody together. So in the end of this pilot episode, when Chief Crawford was hung from a tree, it was kind of like the kickstart that Sister Night has a bigger mission in order to take hold. But let me know what you guys think, because I think this fucking series is amazing. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to us at the Party Nerds YouTube page. Hit me up, Grandmaster Facts, FAQS, on IG and Twitter, and stay tuned for more developments. I will be doing another breakdown for episode 2. Party Nerds go.